What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. I have a quick little video here that I want to talk about, just like my personal choices of the top 10 Link 4 monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. There are gonna there are I'm talking I guess up to tactical masters, because I know that the next couple sets we're gonna be getting a couple pretty good Link 4s, but for now I'm just up to tactical masters, the best Link 4s. Currently, this is not really like a solid list of like the best Link Force period. This is mostly just kind of based on how good the card is and based off kind of the current meta, as you can tell what's on the screen. So we're gonna start off at number 10 with Evil Twins Trouble Sunny. I don't want to spend too much time. I have a bad habit of just going on unnecessary tangents. So just gonna explain the basics here. A lot of people already know what this card does. Pretty much, it's mostly being used as a Ultimate Slayer target. So that way you could so if you run the Evil Twin package in your deck, if you play Splight Evil Twin or just plain Evil Twin package period, you're able to activate Ultimate Slayer to send this card to the graveyard, and then it allows you to send one card in the field to the graveyard by, let's see, it's by sending one Evil Twin monster from your hand, deck, or face up on the field. So being able to send it from your hand or deck is pretty good, because if you draw one that's if you like draw an extra twin, if you have like if you draw I'm doing this again. If you draw an extra twin, or you just have an extra twin in the deck, this card becomes an out. That's just what I'm trying to say. Alright, so at number 9 I have Topologic Zeroboros. So this card right here, I've had some negative experiences with this card. I've tried to use it in a couple decks and it didn't work out. It's one of those cards where whenever I try to use it, it's all right, and then when someone uses it on me, all of a sudden it's like the best card, super impressive. But this card can steal games. It gains 200 attack for each banished card, and if another monster is special summoned to a zone a Link monster points to, it's like while this monster on the field, you banish all cards on the field. So it's not just monsters; it banishes all the cards on the field. So if they have some back row that they think they're going to save, it'll just get rid of it. And once per turn during the standby phase of the next turn after this card was banished by its own effect, special summon this card. Special summon this banished card. So that's like it does prevent you from being able to trigger the effect yourself. Yeah, it says you cannot summon / set monsters to any extra monster zone that this card points to. So it does like lock you out, but against certain decks to where they have to extend, this card just becomes very impressive. So I just want to throw it out there because I have seen a couple people starting to use it again. So I guess just throw it on the list somewhere. For number 7 I have Unchained Abomination. This card I don't really have on the list because it's like super strong, but in a simplified game state, this is very this card is very good. I mean, like, I guess to end the game you'd rather have Access Code Talker, but if you don't have if you can't afford Access Code Talker, or you just don't have one, or or just for whatever reason you're not able to go Access Code Talker, this card is pretty good. It has 3,000 attack, so it's kind of hard to beat over, and then it has the effect to where at the end phase you could just destroy a card, which is something I didn't know when I first started using this. It wasn't until a couple weeks after when I read the whole thing through and realized that, wow, this is way better than I thought. But yeah, like basically, just to this card's effect is whenever something else in the field is destroyed, this will destroy another card. And yeah, that like I said, in simplified game states, this card becomes it's very hard for your opponent to kind of play around this card. So at number 7 I have Borosaur Dragon. I guess this would be the Access Code Talker from many formats back. This was the way that people used to end games instead of going with well, now we have the Access Code Talker, which allows us to get rid of everything. This right here was what you wanted to use. It allows you to chain a monster to defense position, and then allow to make us to make a second attack. So that's how you get two attacks out of it. And then once per turn, when this card declares an attack on a face-up monster, you can activate this effect until the end of this turn. This card gains attack equal to half of that monster's current attack, and if it does, that monster's current attack is halved. So basically, you're able to target a monster, put in defense, attack twice, and then if you pulled its last effect off to where you halved the monster and then added that half to him, if you halved another 3,000 beater, you'd basically have a 4,500 beater that could attack twice. Yeah, so that's the I remember so many. When I finally pulled this card, I was very happy because it was like super expensive. Like it was, I don't think it was access code talker expensive, but it was around the $90-$95 range. So the next card I have on this list is Borreload Dragon. So the reason why I have this card ahead, the reason why Borreload is ahead of Boral Sword, is because this card right here just works a little better in the current format. Like there's people that use the IP strategy where you link off you link off your monsters to summon certain to like you use IP's effect to where it grants extra protection, and you summon out link monsters that already have protection on there, so it gains even extra protection. If that makes any sense. Sometimes I start explaining stuff and I go on tangents, and I gotta watch out. So yeah, basically I have it on here. I have it on here because it's one of the good IP Masquerade targets. Neither player can target this card with monster effects. So if you add that with the Masquerade to where they can't be destroyed, that's it's pretty good. On a quick effect, you can target one face of monster to field, loses 500 attack, and your opponent can't respond to that. So you can use it in the damage step. You can use it just to you can use it to try to chain block something. I don't know. Let's see. I lost my place in trying to explain. Okay, then at the start of the damage step, this effect was always very crazy when people first started using it. At the start of the damage step, this card attacks an opponent's monster. You can place that opponent's monster in the zone that this card points to and take control of it, but send it to the graveyard to the end phase of the next turn. So it's like it has its own form of like non-targeting removal, and it's just like it just has to attack. It has attack, and then it's able to take something, and then I mean you don't get to keep it permanently, so it isn't like change of heart to where it just permanently comes to your side of the field. But sometimes you like, especially being able to do stuff in the damage step, there's cards that just can't respond to it, period. So this card deserves kind of a second look. So the next card I have on list at number 5 is Mech Knight Crusader Avermax. I have the German one up here. This one is basically here just for its extra utility with IP Masquerena. Just just the fact that he already has his own protection, then you could add protection on with IP. Just makes it super broken. He also kind of does the dupe frog thing to where he brings the attacks to him. So yeah, it's just very good. There's not really too much to explain. Everyone already knows like what he does and why he's good. So that's why he's here at number 5. Okay, so I didn't know if I should put it on there, if I shouldn't, should I add the ban cards or not, but I'm just gonna throw it in there. Number 4, Topologic Gumblar Dragon. Why? Because I have a bit of a soft spot for Goki. I loved playing that deck, and this was just one of the nastiest things to do to your opponent. I like whenever there's like a hand trap in Yu-Gi-Oh, there there's always like a level of how nasty I'm the hand trap a hand loop in Yu-Gi-Oh. There's always a level of like how nasty it is. I think one of the nastiest hand loops is when not only do you take out a certain amount of cards from your opponent's hand, but you leave a board that is just like in that format very hard to break or almost unbreakable. So that's why I just threw it on there. It's my list. Screw it, we're throwing Gumblar Dragon. So right here at number 3, I have Firewall Dragon. I'm mostly putting it on here for the legend of Firewall Dragon, not really for what Firewall Dragon is now. But he's here number 3 because unless Konami either kept it banned or gave it the errata like they did, this card was just broken. Like it either helped you spam, it helped you like get around stuff, it helped you recycle, or it was helping you FTK OTK. This card is like utility rank 4, very good card. I love Firewall Dragon. He's here at number 3. So we're gonna go over to the last 2. This one I don't know how people are gonna really feel. This is number 2 is Apollosa Bow the Goddess. I think that she's still really good. Not a lot of people are choosing to not really like use her, especially because the type of strategies you're using, tier elements. You're not really linking this high. If you're going Splight, you're going Link 2, and if you are running like a higher something higher than a Link 2, then it's either gonna be running Avermax, Borlo to run with IP, or you might be running the Underworld Goddess. So yeah, I clicked the wrong one and went right to the last one. Well, this is kind of obvious. The Access Code talk about the last one. So it wasn't really too much to talk about with not too much to talk about her. She just here because she has the ability to negate monster effects, and that's always valuable in Yu-Gi-Oh. And the second we get out of this type of format and like other and like other decks like kind of have the ability to play again, then yeah, then you could probably see people try to use her again. And like I already spoiled it, but it was also kind of pretty obvious. Access Code Talker is number one. This right here, ever since it hit the game, has pretty much become the way you end your Yu-Gi-Oh games. This card, when it hits the board, both your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's effects activation. So either one of them, your opponent cannot respond to them. One of them is you could target one link monster that was used for material for its link summon, and then it'll gain 1,000 times its link rating. So a lot of the times people will link climb into a link 3 with one monster. They'll give it an extra 3,000, making it 53. And then my favorite part is just once per turn target. So you can banish one link monster from your field or graveyard, destroy one card your opponent controls. Also, for this turn, you cannot banish monsters with the same attribute to activate this effect of Access Code Talker. So it's like they tried to make it once per turn, but the way you end up summoning Access Code Talkers by doing a lot of link climbing. So as long as you link climb into different attributes, you end up with, it's depending on how many monsters you use to link climb, you'll end up with that many pops in the field. Alright guys, that was it for the list. Try to make it a little short, don't want to make it too long. Thank you very much for sticking around to the end. I'm going to try to make sure I get these formats better, working on my presentation, and working on my speaking, and working on my, the overall presentation is what I'm trying to say. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Peace out. See you next time.